Hi friends, once again KTSir is here from the channel Kartik Tuitions. In my previous video, we had discussed about cyclic quadrilateral theorem. In this video, we are going to talk about its corollary. So if you have missed that video, do check out my playlist and watch that video and then continue with this video. So you'll be able to understand the concept properly. Let's start with today's video. As I told you, today we are going to talk about corollary of cyclic quadrilateral theorem. Let's have a look at its statement. An exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral is congruent to the angle opposite to its adjacent interior angle. Sir, ये सब क्या है? Now let's have a look at a figure for this. I have a circle. I take a cyclic quadrilateral ABCD. Now here, if you observe in the beginning of the statement, it says an exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral. So I'll extend BC to point E. That's because I want the exterior angle. Now here, the exterior angle you get is DCE. Let's have a look at the statement once again. An exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral is congruent to the angle opposite to its adjacent interior angle. एडजेसेंट यानी बाजू वाला. तो DCE का बाजू वाला एंगल कौन सा है? एडजेसेंट एंगल. नाउ व्हाट इज द कंडीशन फॉर द एडजेसेंट एंगल? दे शुड हैव अ कॉमन आर्म. इफ यू ऑब्जर्व फॉर DCE, DCB is an adjacent interior angle. It is an adjacent interior angle, but it is not congruent to its adjacent interior angle. It is congruent to the angle opposite to its adjacent interior angle. Now, which is the angle opposite to this adjacent interior angle? It is angle A. So, in other words, angle DCE will be congruent to angle DAB. Now, I know this is a bit tricky, so let's deal with the concept once again. I have taken one cyclic quadrilateral PQRS and we are going to apply the same corollary at all the four exterior angles. First, if I extend side SR to point A, now which is my exterior angle here? Angle PSA. So it has to be congruent to its what? Adjacent interior angles opposite angle. So here PQR is the opposite angle for the adjacent angle PSR. So angle PSA will be congruent to angle PQR. I hope you are understanding this. Let's try one more angle. Now this time I extend SP to point B. Now my exterior angle here is what? QPB. तो बताओ ये किससे कॉन्ग्रुएंट रहेगा? अभी इसका एडजेसेंट इंटीरियर एंगल कौन सा है? QPS और उसका ऑपोजिट एंगल QRS. So in other words, angle QPB will be congruent to angle QRS. चलो और एक बार ट्राई करते हैं. Let's extend PQ to point C. Now this time our exterior angle is RQC. So it has to be congruent to which angle? Chalo. PSR. Very good. Let's have a look at one more example. If I extend QR to point D, so I get angle SRD, which is the exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral, and it will be congruent to which angle? It will be congruent to angle SPQ. I hope you have understood this concept. Now let's have a look at this theorem. It's very easy. You can also get this theorem as a sum in exam. So just take it as a sum. Don't take it as a theorem. You will be able to manage it. Now again, an exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral is congruent to the angle opposite to its adjacent interior angle. We have a cyclic quadrilateral ABCD. Now I extend the BC to point E such that I get an exterior angle DCE. Now I have to prove angle DCE is congruent to angle DAB. Now first, angle DCE plus angle DCB will become what? Angles in a linear pair. So if we add these two angles measure, the total has to be 180 degree. Angles in a linear way. Now, what can we say about quadrilateral ABCD? It is a cyclic quadrilateral. Just now we have studied about cyclic quadrilateral theorem, which states that opposite angles are supplementary. Now here, if I talk about angle BCD, its opposite angle is BAD. So when we add these two angles, the total has to be how much? 180 degree. Now, if you observe in both the equation 1 and 2, Their right sides are equal. So let us equate them. Now when I say equate, that means I'm saying measure angle DCE plus measure angle DCB is equals to measure angle DCB plus measure angle BAD. Now, if you observe this statement, on both the side we have measure angle DCB, so we can cancel these two terms. Now, when we do that, we get measure angle DCE is equals to measure angle BAD. Now, see, both the angles are having equal measures. So, in other words, I can say these two angles are congruent. Now, when I say these two angles, so which angles I'm talking about? See, I'm talking about an exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral, and it is congruent to do what? The opposite angle of its adjacent interior angle, that is BAD. I hope you have understood this theorem. Now let's have a look at one sum which is based on a same concept. Two circles intersect at points M and N. Secant drawn through M and N intersect the circle at points R, S and P and Q respectively. Prove that segment SQ is parallel to segment R. Now to prove segment XQ parallel to RP, we need to take help of either corresponding angles or alternate angles or interior angles. Now to prove this, we need a segment MN. So that is our construction for this sum. Draw segment MN. Now when we do that, we get two cyclic quadrilateral. First, let us talk about small cyclic quadrilateral, that is quadrilateral PNMR. It is a cyclic quadrilateral. And what can you say about angle M and Q? Now M and Q is a exterior angle for the cyclic quadrilateral P and M R. Now just now we have spoken about corollary of cyclic quadrilateral theorem, which states that angle M and Q has to be equals to angle MRP. Do you all agree? Now, once this is done, observe the bigger cyclic quadrilateral, that is MNQS. Now, this is also cyclic quadrilateral. In cyclic quadrilateral theorem, we had discussed that opposite angles are supplementary. Now, if I talk about angle MNQ and angle MSQ, they are opposite angles. So, they are supplementary. That means when we add these two angles, the total has to be 180 degree. Now, observe equation 1 and 2. M and Q is present in both the equations. So from equation 2, if I just substitute the value of M and Q as PRM, what do I get? I get angle PRM plus angle PSQ is equals to 180 degree. Observe the figure. When I say angle PRM, I can also say it's the same as angle PRS because RM is a part of segment RS. Same way, if I talk about angle MSQ, I can say it is equivalent to angle RSQ. Same as point M is lying between point R and S. That is our betweenness. Now, if you observe the figure, we have proved that angle PRS and angle RSQ are supplementary and they both are forming interior angles with the help of RS as a transversal. Now, since interior angles are supplementary, therefore I can say segment PR is parallel to segment QS. And the reason is interior angles test. I hope you have understood this sum. If you have found this video useful and helpful, do share it with your friends. Do write your comments in my. Please like, share and subscribe my channel for the regular updates. Thank you.